Hello everybody, this is Real Honesty with John Ritland. I am John Ritland, and NXT Takeover Toronto is over. What an event it was. Toronto was absolutely just crazy, insane, as the kids would say, lit. I don't know what the hell that means. 35 years old, I don't know what the hell lit means, at least in a hip sense. But that was a really, really good event. I didn't set my expectations so high, like, oh my god, every match has got to be a 5-star match, or, I'm going to be disappointed. I threw my expectations out the window and said, this is going to be really, really fun. First off, on the kickoff show, Charlie, it was really nice to see her. I think it was really cool to include her on the pre-shows. They should do that more often. I think she lends a lot of credibility to it. And it's different than having Renee Young on everything. Get some new people out there. And then Dasha was there with the main crowd, including some prepubescent boys. I think they all hit puberty looking at her. I know I would have if that was me. And also Mauro Ranallo. My god, that man's energy is infectious. The guy was crazy energetic, talking about matches. It was fantastic. Really, Mauro Ranallo is just fantastic. The man keeps busy doing everything besides, SmackDown, pay-per-views, pre-shows. And then he calls, I believe, Glory Kickboxing, if I remember right, and some other MMA, and some MMA also. So, Mauro keeps busy, interacts with the fans. Great guy. Really glad WWE got him signed up, because that man has been long overdue for a big spotlight like this, even though he's been in the spotlight for a while. Anyway, going to get to the main card here. Toronto, again, really excited, really energetic, and they start off with the perfect match. It was Tye Dillinger versus Bobby Roode. Roode's entrance, that was great, with the choir singing the glorious theme song. That was really, really cool, and Roode getting a hero's welcome. Since he was born, I believe, near Toronto. I want to say, Sky's song, I believe that's who it is. Renee, if I got your name wrong, I apologize. If you watch this, at least, Renee, I hope that's your name, because that's the name you have listed on there. But she told me that, Roode was born like 45 minutes from Toronto. I don't remember the town's name, but still, Roode got a huge pop. I mean, huge pop. It was absolutely fantastic. Well done. Great entrance. Ty got a really cool entrance with his weird, retro yet 80s futuristic style collar. It was pretty cool, and it was a really, really fun match. It was great. It was great theater. It was great stuff where you got to see back and forth action. Neither guy looked really weak at any point. And I'm not talking 50-50 booking. I'm talking like Roode looked like he survived the thing. He took advantage at the end with a throw into the post after focusing on Dillinger's neck, and smashing him into the ring post and hitting the DDT. That was really, really cool. I really enjoyed that. And Ty did not look weak at all. He, I think, even a couple points like after the match was over, said, "I'm sorry," which he has nothing to be sorry for. Tye Dillinger, a proud Canadian also. Both men got really, really good welcomes for being home country boys. It was a really great way to kick off the event. I would say an 8 out of 10, including the entrances. I mean, and just because it actually exceeded my expectations. I figured the entrances might be the best part. Ty has really come a long way from, his time in WWE and other indies and everything, and back to WWE. And Roode, after being in Dixieland and floundering in Dixieland for a number of years, I'm really, really happy that Roode is getting the chance to shine big time. And one person wants to chime in. Well, not a person, but she wants to chime in, basically. She thought Roode's entrance... Did you think Roode's entrance was glorious? Really? You don't say. Okay. She picked Roode, by the way. So anyway, that was a really, really fun match. I really enjoyed it. I was very impressed. And hats off to both Roode and Ty for kicking that off right. Production values are great. So far, so good. And then we have the Authors of Pain versus TM61 Dusty Classic Tag Team Finals, Tag Team Tournament Finals. And you had Paul Ellering suspended in a shark cage. Much to me like it was the Midnight Express versus the Fantastics, and I don't remember if it was the Great American Bash 1988. I think it might have been that event. I think it was something in 88. It was one of the Clash of Champions, or it was Great American Bash 88. But one of those matches, Cornette was suspended in the cage, and at one point, threw something down to help the Midnight Express when he was supposed to be, a non-factor. But TM61 looked pretty strong. You had Thorne do a dive off of the apparatus that was holding the cage up. Like, you know, the apparatus in the corner. That was really cool. I made a tweet that said Thorne diving off the Ultimate X structure, because that's what it reminded me of. It looked like they were sort of ripping off TNA with their Ultimate X structure. It was still really fun. I really did enjoy it. I mean, Authors of Pain have come a long way. Ellering helps them a lot. Without Ellering, they would not be nearly, I mean, and don't get me wrong, TM61 are pretty plain baby faces that are really talented. They are really, you know, Miller and Thorne are really good. I think they need a lot more time to develop in NXT, at least till, I would give it till this time next year before you even think about calling them up to the main roster, because they still need to get you know, get sold to the fans and doing well, and they put together some good performances. Their problem is they don't have much character to them, so hopefully they get a chance to develop that. Authors of Pain are two big old monsters. Ellering has helped them. I think they've got a bigger hill to climb. You know, pardon the pun, not just because they're bigger guys. They got a bigger hill to climb, because even though they're young guys and they have time to develop, they're agile. They are, you know, agile big men, and they work well as a team. But they got to develop, and they got to develop good cardio. That's my thing. I know a couple of them were winded, or both of them were winded. And I'm not saying that I wouldn't be winded in the same sense, but they still got a while to go. But still, it was a decent tag match. At least this was two actual tag teams, unlike the last year's Dusty Tag Team Classic Finals. And shout out to, I forget who pointed that out. If you're watching this, please tag your Twitter handle in the comments. I forgot who suggested that, but really big shout out to them. But it was a good match. It wasn't great. It was, I would say, a 6 to a 6.5 out of 10. And I would only say that because, and I called it. I said Ellering's going to toss something down from the cage, and it's going to get, you know, to help the Authors of Pain. Well, he threw something down. It was a chain, and then the chain decided to no-sell the whole thing and go into the crowd. And hopefully no fan got hit. It just ended up hitting a chair or something. I didn't hear much of a sound, so hopefully it didn't hit somebody's head. And hopefully, if it hit anybody, they are okay. But again, Authors of Pain get the win. It was good. I mean, Authors of Pain, it doesn't bother me that they won, especially now with who the tag team champions are. It gives you know, a heel team chance to go after the baby faces. So this is probably the match that was the least, you know, if I had to rank the matches, it would probably be the lesser match of the night, but still a pretty good match and solid effort by both teams. And then you had the Revival versus DIY, 2 out of 3 falls for the NXT tag team titles. Oh dear, this was wonderful. I don't think I can sum up just how great this was. Revival have turned in, since winning the tag titles, have turned in some of the best performances. You know, it's like Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson have turned in some incredible performances. They are great. They are what the Brainbusters would be if the Brainbusters were here now. And that's all the compliment towards them. They are Arn and Tully of this generation with how great of a tag team they are. Maybe they're Arn and Zbyszko. If they aren't Arn and Tully, they're Arn and Zbyszko. They are very good. They complement each other well. I saw you know, Dash and Dawson when they faced American Alpha at NXT in Seattle, and I did a review for that cheap plug. That was in May of this year. And they went, and, you know, not, you know, the whole go hard thing. This is not a pun. They were great. They went hard. So did American Alpha. It was a fantastic match. They went just as hard there on a house show as they did for Full Sail or on NXT special. It was absolutely wonderful. The Revival and DIY absolutely destroyed, you know, any expectations I had for this, because they were just wonderful. And I called it. I think I said just as much on my NXT preview, on my preview of this event, that the Revival would win the first fall and DIY would win the next 2. And yeah, the Revival got the first fall, Shatter Machine out of nowhere, 1, 2, 3. After a few minutes, it was pretty good action. And then, God, it's like DIY kept having to fight back, and Gargano was getting beat down and beat down. Ciampa was getting frustrated because he wanted to get in. And then he got the tag, but then the tag didn't happen because the referee didn't see it. Ciampa got tagged in, was upset at Gargano because he wasn't up on the ring apron because he was hurt. You thought a split was going to happen. Double kick, 1, 2, 3, so DIY are tied up. So it's really cool. And then, oh man, I mean, that third fall was something. That third fall would have been fine just as a match on its own. Neither guy held back. Each one threw everything to the wind, caution to the wind, everything. They threw the goddamn kitchen sink into the wind. They threw Dorothy and Toto into the wind. It was incredible. It was great stuff. You had, oh god, DIY is going to win. Oh no, Revival are going to win. Oh no, the Revival are going to retain and DIY is going to snap and they're going to turn heel. And oh my god, it's going to be great. It's going to be great, but, gutting at the same time. And then that double submission. I mean, that double submission where Gargano gets the crossface, Ciampa gets the arm breaker. I don't remember what the hell he calls it. I lost track of it, but my God, it's like just that tap out. I mean, I was so overjoyed. I had my headphones on. I was nearly crying watching it because not necessarily just because I was happy for DIY to win. It was just such great, it was what reminded me of why I like tag team wrestling. It was just really, really wonderful. It was fantastic stuff. I really, really enjoyed watching that stuff because it took me back to the NWA days. You could have put that in on the NWA, on the NWA stuff, Jim Crockett Promotions or whatever, and that would have fit right in. Seriously. And I mean, I can almost say that about any Revival match, and especially Revival versus American Alpha from earlier this year, Dallas and NXT Takeover, The End, respectively. But both those matches are great. To me, this was better. This was better. And this was even better than the match that Revival and DIY had at NXT Brooklyn, where I thought DIY was going to get the win. I think no doubt the Revival is going to get called up soon. Who knows? It might show up at Survivor Series, take a team out, and be part of the winning brand. Who knows? That would be kind of cool. I mean, you could have it'd be a way to pop, the crowd or whatever for a show that's going to be 4 hours long. But back to this. That was just an incredible match. The joy that people felt while DIY, won the titles. They were celebrating with everybody. People were like, you deserve it, you deserve it. It's great stuff. I really enjoyed it. It was a 10 out of 10 tag match by far. It was what a goddamn tag match that was. That was incredible. And now we go to Mickie versus Asuka. It was for the women's title. Mickie looked good. Mickie looked good, and not just age-wise. She looked good in the ring. She hadn't wrestled that much competitively, especially for the last few years. I mean, she'd wrestled a few shows, but not regularly for a while. Not since her first few years in TNA. And Asuka looked really good. And I don't know what it is, but something seemed a little off. Mickie looked good in it. She had some good dominating performances, or dominating spots. Asuka had some good spots. It was a match built on respect and who wants to be the better woman, and that was fine, and that actually worked pretty well for a while. The problem was the ending. It looked like Mickie was like dominating near the end or whatever, and then Asuka suddenly gets on the Asuka lock, and not even like 10 seconds in, or tap out, or however Mickie did it. Not even fighting it. Now, I don't know if they rushed it because Mickie was injured. I don't know if they rushed it because Asuka might be injured. I don't know if they rushed it for time, which is weird because the thing was timed to 2 hours, but ended up going almost 2.5 hours. Yeah, I don't understand why, since it was a network exclusive. It's not like they couldn't just go over time. Maybe they were worried that Mickie wasn't going to be able to go very long. Mickie still looked good, though. I think Mickie earned her way to at least get a contract through Mania. At least through Mania, possibly through SummerSlam. I would like to see that. She could have some good matches with people. You could put her on Raw and have some good matches. You could put her on SmackDown and have a good glut of matches. I think you give her a chance, but something seemed a little off, and maybe it was the ending. Maybe it was just the fact that suddenly just like that, it just snapped away. Like weird. That was weird. It wasn't a bad match. But I don't know. This is right there with the TM61 Authors of Pain match where it was good. Don't get me wrong. And the women's match was better, but something just seemed a little off. It's like, and to me, Asuka's basically been a heel since her feud with Bayley. So to me, since about March. I don't know why they waited this long for Asuka to basically like totally flip going heel. And it's worked. I mean, she still gets good pops, and she has really, really good offense and a really, really cool look. But Mickie was a babyface here, and to me should have fought a little more out of the Asuka lock. I mean, because it wasn't like Asuka had kicked her head in for like 5 minutes before that, and then locked on the Asuka lock. Then I could have understood it. But yeah, Mickie had really good offense up to that point in those final few minutes, and then that. So it just seemed a little weird. But I mean, I'm not going to nitpick and I'm not knocking the women. It just seemed like it was a bit of a rush. Like creative just, just said, end it, that's it. So hopefully Mickey gets another chance, gets a chance full-time, maybe a couple more months in NXT and go to the main roster. Who knows? Maybe she'll go up to Survivor Series tomorrow. Give her a chance. I think she's earned it. After 6+ years gone from the company, I think she's earned a chance to at least go through to SummerSlam next year. Why not? I mean, she's what, 36, 37? She's not ancient. And I know she's got a kid, so I don't know how long she'd be able to want to be away from her kid, but she could do well. Anyway, so now we go to the main event. Joe versus Nakamura NXT title. What an entrance by Nakamura. That was great. Multiple violin players. Get that redhead girl playing the violin. Get her more TV time. She was hot. That's just all I'm going to say about that. She was almost as hot as some girl that I wish was sitting right here with me, Ashley at WWE Fan 1991. Ashley, I wish you were sitting right here because I think you would be able to offer some great insight on any of my reviews, and it'd be great to have you because you're an awesome person. So there we go. But great entrance by Nakamura, all the multiple violin players. That was really, really cool stuff. Joe was really overwhelmingly over, and it's not that Nakamura wasn't. His theme was getting sung by the crowd, so both men to me were about split on how over they were. Maybe Nakamura just a bit above Joe, but Joe had a really solid fan base. And then you have Joe working on the body parts of Nakamura, working on his ribs, working on his knee. Nakamura still hitting his strikes and still hitting it. Everything seemed pretty even. But it seemed like Joe, as it went on, was able to get more of an upper hand. And then, near the end, he, kicks out of the Kinshasa. Nakamura gets out of a move. Another Kinshasa. He falls. Joe falls to the outside. Nakamura gets a low blow. Gets thrown into the steel steps. Joe gets back in, muscle buster, and suddenly 1, 2, 3. And I'm like, wow. I mean, Joe beat Nakamura, and I mean, soundly, convincingly, and clean, because they never called the steel step spot like a DQ, so obviously it was allowed. So that was it was shocking. I actually thought Nakamura would retain because I'm thinking, okay, he just won it from Joe. This is his first defense at a takeover event, so I'm like, there's no way. So my only guess is that Nakamura is going to the main roster tomorrow. That he's going to make an appearance at Survivor Series. That he's going to be part of some kind of match. Maybe I don't know. At the end of the Goldberg Lesnar match, Goldberg gets a good send off, and then you have Nakamura face off with Lesnar. I don't know, and you build to that match at either Royal Rumble or Mania. But I was just really, really surprised to see Nakamura lose so soon. I'm not gonna do all this stuff like some fans might do in the canceled WWE network, because that's bullshit. Your favorites aren't gonna win all the damn time, so quit whining. I was a little shocked, and I wasn't disappointed. If Joe is able to put somebody over, Joe should put over somebody like Rude. To me, Rude should be the next guy to win the NXT title. I would be all for that. Or you have another babyface beat Joe. Say if they have a takeover right before the Rumble, and then Joe moves up right after that. I'd be for it. Yeah, you'd be gutting some of NXT, but really NXT is still being able to bring in some free agents and still doing pretty well. So anyway, I would say the match of the night easily was a 2 out of 3 falls. Easy for me to say. 2 out of 3 falls match for the tag titles. Nakamura Joe is the second. Dillinger Rude is the third. Asuka versus Mickey was the 4th ranked match. TM61 versus Authors of Pain was the 5th ranked match. So, and that's not to slight the show. I would say this show was B+ quality. B+ quality. I'm going to say A- based on the tag match alone. The tag match in Joe versus Nakamura was really good, and you had the crowd reactions all throughout. So the crowd really kept it energetic, and to me, made sure that the show really was fantastic. So that's my take on it. Do you agree? Do you disagree with what I said? Feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe. My Twitter link is in the description, and I will be back tomorrow for Survivor Series, likely at my friend Chris's house. It's been Real Honesty with John Ritlin, and I am John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.